So I'm seeing a lot of harassment for this critic, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen. So on Rotten Tomatoes, there's this review, and I actually read this on my pregame show. But this review from Tania Lamb for The Batman. And her review says the performances were emotional and raw in The Batman, but you're going to get a very broady Batman that never smiles. The Batman is not kid-friendly for younger ones. And I saw so many people harassing this woman, and, she clearly didn't like The Batman. And look, let me give you context. I went to go watch Batman last night. I put out a full 30-minute review. It's my longest review yet. No spoilers at all, which I'm surprised by. And I went to go watch The Batman. And I said in my review, it is one of the greatest comic book movies I've ever seen. I praised it. And you guys know me. I grew up with Batman. Batman is my favorite fictional character of all time. And so the day before I went to go watch it, I saw a lot of people harassing this one woman. A lot of people found her Instagram account. They found a lot. They were trying to decredit her. And this whole... I want to talk to movie fans out there right now. One thing I hate about movie fans is when you dehumanize a critic just because you have a different opinion from them. We have to now talk about this because every time on YouTube, I go all over YouTube talking to fellow movie lovers, and all I hear is, well, I don't trust the critics because the critics get it wrong, or the critics don't understand the fans, or the critics are just shills that are paid by Disney or Warner Brothers. And it's always this. You see so many movie fans, and I include myself in this. You see movie fans constantly harassing critics and dehumanizing them and diminishing their entire careers. And Tania Lamb right here was just I saw there's a video from Geeks. I have actually not seen the video from Geeks and Gamers, so I can't say what it is, but I saw so many comments. I saw even from some of my YouTube friends in group chats, I saw them saying, oh my god, she's an idiot because she doesn't know that Batman's a dark character. Newsflash, everyone knows Batman's a dark character. Tanya's not saying that Batman shouldn't be a dark character. All she's saying is that for her, it's just not what she wanted. That's not what she likes. And guess what? There is no reason why people should harass her. There is no purpose to why we're harassing her. She's just doing her job. And look, a lot of people are so mad and they're like, well, obviously, she's just a shield. She's just being paid off or something like that. Stop diminishing critics. They're just doing their damn job. And Tania Lamb ain't no different. She's just doing her job. All she's doing is doing her freaking job. And so many people are like, well, that's the wrong opinion. You're telling me that now you're telling a freaking professional critic that they should just lie? That takes away the whole purpose of their career. If you're a critic, whether it's movies, whether it's music, whether it's food, if you lie about your review, then that automatically decredits anything. It's not about what you think about something. It's about you giving us your authentic reaction to the thing that you're reviewing. That's it. And I'm seeing so many idiots constantly harassing her, saying, oh my gosh, she's just an MCU fan, because they found on her Instagram that said MCU fan. She's like, well, she's an MCU fan, so her opinion doesn't matter. Well, how does her opinion not matter because she's an MCU fan? Newsflash, lots of people are MCU fans. She just happens to be part of it. And I hate when people are like, oh, but there's a bias against DC. No, there isn't. Let's look at the screen right now. It's actually not there. But there's an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. Look at all these positive ones, and there's a couple of negative ones. And this Tania Lamb one is Tania Lamb one. I actually don't want to change it because I do want to go back to her comment later on. But you can find the scores 86% for critics, 90-something% for audiences. And Tania Lamb, all she is a critic who gave her opinion. And look, I know a lot of people are going to criticize. Let me read it again. Performance were emotional and raw in the Batman, but you're going to be a very broady Batman that never smiles. The Batman's not kid-friendly for younger ones. So clearly we learn that Tania Lamb, she doesn't like this darker kind of Batman story. She doesn't think it's for younger kids, which I'll testify to that. That I watched the movie already. To me, it really isn't a movie I would show kids, but that to me doesn't change anything. And look, for her, it just didn't work. And that's something we have to, as movie fans, the biggest problem with movie fandom is sometimes we just don't understand that film is subjective. We get so defensive over somebody daring to criticize a movie we like. And look, I've been a part of that too. Don't get it twisted. I believe every movie fan has gone that, including myself. I include myself on that list. But I hate how people looked at Tania's comments and they were like, "Oh my God, she's an idiot. She's a shill. She only wants kid-friendly Marvel movies." Well, guess what? That's her opinion. That's what a critic is. A critic is supposed to give you their raw opinion, their authentic opinion. And if they don't give that to you, then they're not doing their job. She's not wrong. It's her subjective take on a movie. And that's something as movie fans we got to understand. Movies are experiential events. Some people love comedy, some people like drama, some people like romance, some people like horror. Everybody's different. You go to a group of movie fans right now. Actually, I could just right now, let me do it right now. I could right now ask you guys what's your favorite movie of all time, and I guarantee you all of you would have a different answer. Some people would say Shawshank Redemption, some people would say Citizen Kane, some people would say Godfather Part 1 or Part 2, I don't know, Dark Knight, whatever you want to put in that list. Everyone's going to have a different perspective. Everyone's going to have a different opinion, and that's not bad. Tania Lamb just happens to have this opinion. It doesn't make her wrong. It doesn't discredit her. All it is she just didn't enjoy the movie because this isn't her type of film. It just isn't. It doesn't mean she's wrong. It just means that's her perspective. And as movie fans, we need to evolve from that stupid stigma that movies are supposed to be objective. That's not true. Movies are subjective. They're opinion-based thoughts. Because look, the reality is, in our lifetime, we grew up with different experiences. We have different experiences from one person. We have different backgrounds. We grew up different. And part of that, fundamentally leads to your adulthood. When you're in your adulthood, you do certain things because of things that happen as a kid. Like, for example, some people love listening to Nirvana. Some people think that Nirvana is their kind of music. But then you have other people who love, J Balvin. Some people love J Balvin. And then there's going to be other people who love, the Beatles. Or U2. I don't know. Whoever. Eminem. Tupac Shakur. Biggie Smalls. Everyone's going to love their certain kind of takes because that is what their experience in life has been. They like a certain thing because of the way they grew up. And movies aren't any different. And before anyone harasses Tania Lamb, I'm going to stand up for her because I've yet to see anyone standing up for her. This woman does not deserve the hate she got. In fact, I am ashamed of being part of this movie fandom, seeing the harassment. There are even some sexist comments saying, "Oh, she's a woman. What does it matter?" And I'm literally looking at myself like, wait, all she said that she just didn't like the movie, or she didn't like it because of that. So what? Are you really that insecure that somebody giving an opinion on a movie really leads you to having to make sexist comments and having to make videos saying how she lost all credibility? She didn't lose credibility. The only way, and I'm going to talk to everyone who does movie reviews or you don't even have to do movie reviews. You could be like the average Joe who just goes to a movie and that's it. The only way you lose credibility when you review a movie is if you're lying about your review, that you're not being authentic. That's the only time you lose credibility. You don't lose credibility when you say that you liked or didn't like a movie, no matter what the popular belief is. It doesn't matter. A couple months ago, I had a friend and I watched The Godfather with him. And I love The Godfather. To me, it is one of the greatest films I've ever seen. And he didn't like it. He said he thought it was boring. He thought it was, he just didn't enjoy it, all that. And look, I could have easily just been so defensive. I could have easily just been like, well, you don't understand real cinema. No, I didn't do that. I was mature enough to understand that, hey, look, I enjoyed this movie because that is my experience. Because movies are experiential events. He didn't like it because his experience was different. He didn't like The Godfather. And that's okay. At the end of the day, this is entertainment we're talking about. We're not talking about politics. We're not talking about money. We're not talking about important stuff. This is entertainment. This is supposed to be fun and engaging. But when you harass a critic for doing their job, and it's not like she's like, oh, Batman's this really, really bad movie that people should never watch. No. All she said was, hey, she just didn't like the brawny Batman that never smiles, and it's not for kid friendly or younger people or younger audiences who are like under the age of 17 or something like that. That's all she said. It's all she said. And the movie fandom needs to move on from this, because it is absolutely pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic seeing how embarrassing the movie fandom was just because somebody just didn't enjoy a movie. And look, I love the Batman. I think it is one of the greatest comic book movies I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know where to put it yet, but I think it is one. It could be the greatest or one of the greatest. And even I look at her review and I'm not offended. I'm not shocked. I'm just like, hey, you know what? That's her experience. I don't get how she lost credibility. Look, there's over here. Look at this positive one. What it does do quite effectively is tell a solid Batman story and all that. Look, he gave a good review. This person gave his honest truth about what he thought. Gwen Weldon. And then Tania Lamb did the same. She gave her honest, truthful, authentic review. How does one lose credibility but the other doesn't? Oh, is it because that's not the narrative you wanted to paint? Newsflash, people aren't going to like the same thing. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Sorry if I ranted, but this is something we got to talk about. Movie fans need to understand that Rotten Tomatoes... Look, some people have this false narrative that Rotten Tomatoes is a group of critics that get together and they just choose a percentage. It's not that. It's individual critics from different life, different experiences who they just review a movie. They're told, hey, watch this movie, review it, and then they give you their honest review. And I hate when people are like, oh, I don't trust critics. Wait, how do you not trust critics? They're telling you their perspective. Because again, critics are the same as fans. Critics are fans. They're fans of movies. They enjoy movies. The only difference is they do it professionally and they watch more movies than us. Doesn't make them better than us. And I always hate when people... there's always this stigma. I always hear movie fans say, I only listen to fan reviews because they're more authentic. What are you smoking, man? Whatever you're smoking, give me a part of that. Give me a part of that. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, but how are fans authentic to their reaction, but not critics? And then I remember once hearing, I'm not going to say who this YouTuber is, I'm close friends with him, but I'm going to call him out. I'm not going to say his name, but I'm going to call out his perspective. He said that, critics, fans have more authentic reactions than critics. And that the fans are always right because the fans are the ones who help, who are the reason why movies are successful. And I told him, you do realize that that critics are fans. They just do it professionally. That's just their job. This is like looking at a basketball player, like some random guy on the street playing basketball and LeBron James. And you say, oh, I'm only going to watch this random guy because this random guy is not doing it for money and he looks much cooler and more authentic because LeBron James only does it for money. That's exactly what you're saying. And I want to tell people, stop harassing Rotten Tomato critics. Stop harassing, because at the end of the day, all they're doing is giving you their thoughts on the movie. That's all they're doing. Stop embarrassing the fandom. This is absolutely embarrassing. And I'm so sick and tired of seeing it. That's going to be it for my video. Sorry if I went on a rant. But nobody's sticking up for Tania Lamb. I'm going to stick up for her. Because I would want somebody to do the same for me. Because something I've always prided I'm obviously not all that unique. There's a reason why I'm a small YouTuber, because I'm not all that great at what I do. But the one thing I can at least stick my head up and say I'm proud of myself for is I've never lied about my review. I've never told you a lie, and I've never lied about what I thought about a movie or show, even if it's the unpopular belief. I mean, look at my Eternals review. I called Eternals the greatest movie the MCU has ever done, and I called it the MCU's first ever masterpiece. And I have so many people always telling me, what the heck? What are you smoking? What are you doing? Really? And even Max, he says that I'm always trolling when I say that. I'm not trolling. That's my honest truth. And I could have easily lied. I could have easily been like, oh, I liked Eternals, but it's not the best MCU movie. Or I could have said I hated Eternals. But no, I wanted to give you my authentic thoughts. Because that was my experience. Birds of Prey. A lot of people are always weirded out when I say that I actually really like Birds of Prey. I really enjoy that movie. And contrary to the popular belief, I'll tell you that I enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that... Look, this goes to every movie review channel on YouTube. Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, John Campia, me, Geeks and Gamers, anyone out there who does any form of movie reviews. We're really all not that unique. We're not really that unique. Reviewing a movie. Everyone does that. But what makes us unique is not only our personalities, but also us being authentic about what we thought about a certain project. And the minute you lie about what you think about a movie or show just because of the popular belief, that at that moment you stop being unique. At that moment, that uniqueness you once had is taken away because you wanted to follow a social stigma. And I'm glad that Tania Lamb stuck up for herself. I'm glad that she said, you know what, I might get hate, I don't care. Or maybe she didn't even think about it. Whatever it is, I'm proud that she gave her a real review. Because if she lied, she'd just be another. She all her credibility would have been lost. But guess what? She's a professional. There's a reason why she's a professional critic for Rotten Tomatoes. Because she doesn't lie about her reviews. I would have been mad if she said that the Batman was great and all that, because she'd be lying to herself. And that, to me, the job of a critic is for them to give you their authentic, full-on reaction to a certain project. And I even had this discussion with a friend who does YouTube, and I don't want to say his name, but he really enjoyed Book of Boba Fett. But he was realizing that a lot of these rant videos on Book of Boba Fett were getting a lot of views. And I've always taught him, hey, look, go for views, but also be authentic to who you are. And he made the decision to pretend to hate Book of Boba Fett. And he started making videos saying, you know, Book of Boba Fett's terrible and all that. And he would tell me that he actually enjoys it. He just does it for reviews. And again, I'm not going to reveal who this channel is or whatever. I'm not going to reveal, even if people try to message me privately, I won't. But I told them, look, I'm not going to criticize you. I'm not going to do anything. At the end of the day, YouTube is about views. But I'll tell you this right now. I can't trust your reviews anymore. I cannot trust what your authentic thoughts are because you lied about what you thought. And I'm not, like, for example, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. A lot of people always use that Jeremy once liked Last Jedi, and then years later he says it's the worst movie ever. And a lot of people are saying, oh, he lied about his reaction. I don't think it is that. I think it's the first time he saw it, he liked it. But the more and more he watched it, he didn't like it. That's happened to me. Wonder Woman 84. The first time I watched Wonder Woman 84, I thought it was an average movie. And then when I watched it again, I solidified it as a movie I just didn't like in general. It went from average to not very good. And that's always happened to me in the past. And Batman Forever. Batman Forever was a movie I loved when I was a kid. But the older I get, the more I don't like it. I actually even liked Batman and Robin when I was a kid. I liked Spider-Man 3 when I was a kid. But the older I got, my opinions changed. And that's not a problem. You know, when you grow up, certain experiences change. And that's not a problem. And that's why I'm proud of Tania Lamb. I'm proud that she stood her ground and she gave us her real authentic reaction. Because if she didn't, then all credibility would have been lost. And that's actually why I pride myself on this channel, that I'm always telling you what I truly think. Especially when it comes to reviews. Because if I lie to you, then I'm not unique anymore. Because if I lie about my review, then what's the point? You're here for my review. You're here for my reaction. And if I don't give you that, then what am I even here for? You know? And everyone harassing Tania Lamb, just stop and sit down and think to yourself, why are you doing this? Why are you harassing somebody for doing their goddamn job? Why? But anyways, I know I've said this already, but that's going to be it for today's video. I went on a little too long. I am changing the format of my videos. I used to kind of try getting them under 10 minutes. Now I'm just going to give you my full unfiltered thoughts, really. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys had a great experience watching this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.